What's up YouTube? This is Boston Chris, and I am doing a video entry into Who Dat Comics and Movies 500 subscriber contest. So the contest has been going on for a little bit of time, and here I am. I don't normally make contest videos. I just kind of, I don't know. I just end up getting busy a lot of the time and don't have time to kind of just get into the contest videos. But Who Dat is a good friend of mine in the community. Just a guy who I talk to all the time and just really have a good time just talking about comics and joking around and having some fun on the off airs and stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and support his contest, support his channel, also congratulate him on just hitting that milestone. So with no further ado, Who Dat, congratulations. Here's my video, better late than never, because the contest ends tomorrow. And to be honest with you, this probably should have been recorded way earlier, but just so many things happened, just with, life in general and everything else. So here we go. So for his contest, I made sure to, go ahead and sub the people that he asked for. So this was a bonus, but I wanted to go ahead and give support to these channels. So I went ahead and subbed up, subscribed to Thorough Cubero, all about comics. I've been subbed to him for a long time. Jeffrey Comic Con and Tony Sanders. So went ahead and made sure I'm subbed to all four of them, just to make sure that giving the support, and shout out to those guys. So if you're not subbed to them, go ahead and sub them up too, just because these are some really good guys within the comic community, have lots of really good stuff. Just really good and fun people to get in contact with and get to know, and definitely worth kind of going ahead and just giving them some support so that you can check and see what they're doing. Next up, we have the questions. So the questions that Who Dat asks, he has 3 of them. The first is a 2-part question, which is, who is your favorite comic character growing up, and who is your current favorite character? So as a kid growing up, my favorite comic book character it's kind of a tie between Spider-Man and Wolverine. When I was really little, I used to love Spider-Man. Just was a huge fan of the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends cartoon. And then as I got a little bit older, so maybe when I was about, I would say in between 3 and maybe 7, I was a big Spider-Man fan. And then as I got a little bit older, I liked the X-Men, and I got into Wolverine. I thought he was awesome. And so from the time I was about maybe 8 till I guess well into my teens, I was all about Wolverine growing up. And my current favorite character, as I've gone older and just kind of gotten into some really cool stories and just kind of seen just some awesome characters over the years, I would have to say my favorite character at this point in time is Thanos. I've been a big fan of Thanos since about since I was about 17 years old, and just kind of getting to know his story, getting to read Infinity Gauntlet, and just getting to know more and more about this character, and just his obsession with wanting to please Mistress Death and everything. So Thanos is my current favorite character. I think that he's just an awesome character. And not even just the fact that he's in the movies. I think in the movies, they depicted him well, but not exactly. I think in the comics, he's just got a way better story arc, and he's just a way more complex character. So I think that he's my favorite at this time, and I do all my best to try to collect everything that comes out with him, and just trying to kind of go back and get some of the back issues that have to do with Thanos. So next question is, what is your favorite comic book read? It could be old or new. And I would have to say, even though I've said that Thanos is my favorite character, which is true, and I do love the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, it's an awesome story, but I still think that my favorite story of all time, and I think for me the most well done story is Watchmen. It's 12 issues. It's just a really, really, really good story, and it, as much as it's comic book, it kind of does read like an actual novel in certain ways, like the way it's built, the way just all the story comes together, and then as you're reading it, just how everything kind of how everything flows, just really, really well done. So I would recommend that to anybody. I think that's a just great story, and just a really, really different way of looking at superheroes. So Watchmen is, I would have to say, my favorite comic read of all time. And then the third and final question is, what is your favorite comic book movie and why? So this, I would have to say, that's kind of a tough one, just because, there's some newer stuff that's really, really good. Like, I really like Infinity War. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. But I would have to say, based on just the overall story behind it, I think that my favorite comic book movie, just because of the story with it, which I'll get into, is probably the 1989 Batman. The reason for this is just because came out, and I was 7 years old when it came out, so I remember vividly being just really young. I was in the, I think, second grade, and just randomly, I mean, the most random thing ever, I got to school and had maybe been there for about an hour, and then my dad showed up, and he's like, he's like, I need Chris real quick. So he dismissed me out of school to be able to go and take me to the first showing that was happening at the theater nearby. And so it was just like, that was just a really cool memory, just being able to see that. And then watching that movie, I mean, it was so well done. They had such a good just core of actors in it. And, me being just, little 7-year-old kid, it was just like, so that I would have to say, as far as movie experience, and just all around story, favorite movie, comic book movie, still to this day, is the Batman, the 1989 Batman. So that is all the questions. That's everything. So again, congratulations to that on hitting 500, and I know you've actually gotten past that since going ahead and starting the contest. So as you continue to grow your channel, just congratulations all the way. So that's going to be it for me. That's my contest entry. As I said before, better late than never. So if you're still looking to make a video for Who Dat's contest, make sure that you do that as soon as possible, because it shuts down tomorrow, the 26th. So thank you for watching. Again, this has been Boston Chris. Have a good night.